Welcome to my home studio. I love this place. I've booked movie auditions in here. I've done voiceover recording in here. My roommate works out in here, and I've helped my friends with their auditions in here. However, like most home studios, it was built slowly over time with whatever budget I had. Sometimes that budget was $0. This is the dumpster desktop. I found it in an alley next to a dumpster. This chair, those curtains, which are floor to ceiling, and that soundproofing in the corner belonged to an old roommate who was a singer. That futon, which you can probably only see the corner of, also belonged to an old roommate. These 3.5-inch M-Audio studio monitors, also old roommate. This beautiful dual-level glass desk and that cabinet, which now has my microphones and other recording equipment in it, I found on the side of the street, just waiting to be rescued. However, today is all about monitors. This is a 23-inch Samsung monitor that I found in the closet of my boss that I actually still work for. It's about a 2011 monitor, and I've used it for like 6 or 7 years. It has a column of dead pixels in it, which I just ignored. Everything else about it works fine. It was free. Needless to say, I'm very excited to announce that I have found a new monitor right outside of my apartment on the side of the road with its power cable. This is a 24-inch MSI MAG 24C. I believe it has about 144 or 165 hertz refresh rate. It's curved. It's from 2019, but it should still be a massive upgrade over the old Samsung. It is VESA mount compatible, however, it did not come with one on the side of the road. So I bought a dual monitor stand. I'm only going to hook up one monitor for now, this one, of course. But I am going to have to reinforce it because this desk is glass. So, let's go. There's one arm. There's another arm. There's one clamp. This is really beefy steel. It's heavy. I love to see that. Looks like nice stainless steel hardware. Allen keys and Phillips head included. Okay, so some tools are required. Got a second layer. And here's probably the bottom arms. And that looks like what they mounted into. And here's the instructions. Actually going to read these this time. I have a glass desk. I don't want to break it. Sometimes I just raw dog it. Not today. Oh, it actually suggests using a wood board for reinforcement, which is what I was going to do. I'm going to use... Did you guys see that? These 2x4s, which I already had supporting my desk. For a brief moment, I had that TV as my monitor. It's a 42-inch TV, and it was way too heavy for this desk. It was bending the frame, so I made these 2x4 reinforcements to help support the weight. I left them in there just because they didn't really bother me, and they blended in really well. However, I feel like today's the day where I'm actually going to need them. All right, one clamp. Oh, shit. They have nice rubber feet on them. spread that out to make myself feel better. Yeah, baby. Okay. That makes more sense. Relatively intuitive installation. You know, I double checked to make sure I was using the right size bolt. But once you got that, where they go seems pretty straightforward, which is nice. I appreciate that they gave you the tools you need. But if you have, you know, your own nicer tools, of course it just makes the experience better. You know, just snug on these. The parts look beefy, but I'm sure the hardware itself isn't. That's cool. You know the depth of how thick your desk is. That's pretty cool. Well, horrible news. It goes directly on top of the support. The clamp lands directly on top of the support bar going across, which is exactly where I did not want it to land. Oh God. Gosh, I don't like that anywhere near as much. Oh. I mean, it's on a metal bar, and it has 2 clamps. But I almost need to notch out this piece of wood to get this to work right. This is one of those times where if you had a 3D printer, I'm sure it would be super easy to make a piece. But I don't. Get it roughly in the middle. This is actually a pretty nice stand. Pretty well built stand. And if the worst part about it is my support, I'm gonna feel pretty stupid. Yeah, baby, you can clamp it down because it's going onto metal, so I don't feel bad about it. And then the top, you know, has a lot of surface area, so. All right, let's keep going. Okay, this is round 2 of trying to fix the VESA mount to the monitor. The screws it came with were too long, and even with the grommets and a washer, it did not tighten the monitor down to the mount. I went to the hardware store and got screws that were 5mm shorter, so I'm hoping these should do the trick. We need 4 collars, washer, screw, mount, the screws to make that work. This is not the proper method, but it will work. Okay, I'm ready to put that on the desk. Gotta clean first. And we'll set it up here. All right, I mean, there it is. I want it lower. It's mounted beautifully in the middle. I do want it lower though. So let's see if I can loosen. Okay, that's better. It's sort of staying right in front of me. All right, I don't hate that. Let's do some cable management. Okay, I could not find any DisplayPort cables, but I have a bunch. I have a bunch of HDMI cables, so we'll get this plugged in and at least working for now, and then we'll optimize it later. That should have power, and that should be plugged in. Now the monitor is staying where I want. I have my chargers. Let me get my keyboard back. Oh, it's supposed to be frameless, it looks like, which is real nice. Let's turn this bad boy on. See what it looks like. It's taking a minute, but it wants to work. Oh, the computer might be off. Oh, how about that? Try turning the computer on. Beautiful, baby. Okay, so I'm gonna need some different cables to get it hooked up to the monitor and have the extra input for my laptop. But for now, wow, this looks really good. I had to reconnect to the internet there because I hadn't connected to the internet on this computer since I upgraded my Wi-Fi to gigabit speeds. Yes. Let's give it a quick test, see how we're doing. All right, 360 megabits per second, not bad, but not quite the 850 I'm getting in the other room. I'll see what I can do about that. However, in the meantime, this monitor is absolutely beautiful. The resolution is insane. It's way better than the last monitor I had. I'm just like playing around now. Gosh, that is absolutely beautiful. The movement is insane. Well, I think that'll do, boys. New monitor is installed. It's a dual monitor mount. I've got it working with only one monitor. I can add one when I want. I'm going to need a couple of DisplayPort cables in order to expand the functionality of this video card. But for now, this is pretty fucking sexy. Everything looks beautiful. Can't wait to game with this new setup. Can't wait to stream with this new setup. Everything looks real nice.